Good morning, guys. Sun is shining, prices are low. I don't know what to say. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna make my first big purchase today. And I wanna show you what I'm buying. I mostly wanna show you why I am buying. And I know you might get sick of it, like, you're buying, prices are low, and we know it by now, but we're going in a bear market. It's not what I think. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. Matter of fact, I think that for a lot of coins, this opportunity right now is even better than the deepest of the bear market. And we do know that if you did buy in the deepest of the bear market and you took a little profits on the way up, that you made some really good money. And now it's kind of like showing that it's the same opportunity again. The only thing that's kind of hard in this market for people, which I guess, is that you have to have a lot of patience, right? You have a long preparation phase in crypto, and the rewarding phase is what we are all waiting for. And I get that. I want it, sooner than, rather today than yesterday, than tomorrow. I don't know. I want it now. Of course, I want it now. Then again, we should realize that the longer the preparation phase, the more money you will eventually make in crypto. That's something that you really got to realize. And if you finding yourself in a hurry, then you maybe had the wrong expectations or put some too much money in, right? So let's manage our expectations right here. But let's also take a look at the real opportunity there is, right? And when to actually flip bearish. I've been bearish for a long time. Now around the lows, I cannot be bearish. And at a certain point in crypto, it will go up again, right? We know that crypto is up and down. And then it's time to flip bearish again. But it is just not the time right now. So let's get into that, man. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, or if you think that you're gonna like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. I'm getting a little sick, by the way, but let's hype it all up, man. Now, Bitcoin at this moment, $82,000. Is this worrying to me? I don't want to spend too much time on this, but no. I do think that it is very normal, in fact, if Bitcoin is going to retest the lower 70s. And I said that before because that would line up with the 30-35% correction that we so far always had in Q1 of the post-halving year, right? So if the bottom is in for Bitcoin, then this would have been percentage-wise the best cycle so far. Now, that's not weird because losses are diminishing, right? However, if it goes all the way from now, it's not all the way anymore, but to 74, 73, maybe even the 70, right? That would be quite comparable with the last two cycles. Now, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? And look, I think that if you play this game over the really long term, like multi-year term, then Bitcoin is basically the only thing that you want to buy, right? Maybe Ethereum. But overall, if you want to be really relax about it and you want to make sure that you can sleep well, then Bitcoin is always a place to be, right? However, for a shorter term flip, and with shorter term, I mean now few months, right? Like rest of the year maybe, then altcoins look like the best thing for me to buy. And how did I come to that conclusion? I just look at the Bitcoin dominance and I feel like, has it more up or downside? In my opinion, from this point, it has more downside. Like if we wanted to buy Bitcoin, that's fine, but did it over here, right? Now it's here. Like, why should we buy Bitcoin now compared to the altcoin market? Also, if we look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, you can see that they are sitting at major macro support, right? And you can say like, oh, this time it's gonna break. You can do that, but you have to realize that every single time, 2 times, right? But that's every single time that it went to this level in this stage, in this period, it got followed by a big alt season, right? So is this the time like to be bearish on altcoins here? I get that, of course. But to be bearish on altcoins all the way down here, I feel like, you're too late. You had your chance. Now it's time to flip around again. You'll notice that everybody around you is becoming bearish, right? That's why you should do the opposite, actually. So therefore, I am rather buying alts right now, sit it out, have some patience, not expecting returns tomorrow, next week, or next month. Let's see how it does by the end of the year. And then we can see like, hey, was that a good choice or not? Like we said earlier, it's like betting on horses, right? And this is just the fastest horse to bet on. If you're gonna bet on the fact that all altcoins are going to zero, it's fine, but that's the handicapped horse. Could still win, but it's not the best bet to take, right? So why is this opportunity, in my opinion, better than the 2022 bear market? And also, why am I making my first big purchase today? Well, first big purchase since months at least. I said I have two levels to buy alts. One is at this trend line. Why? Because this trend line has been so far always, without an exception, the place to buy, right? You can see it if we go back in time, and I mean a lot back in time, 2018, when it hit this trend line, it had a bounce of 343%. Now, if we look at this right here, it had a bounce of 124%. COVID broke it. Yeah, it's in the short term, right? Couple weeks. If you were longing, okay, fucked up. But like, I don't do leverage. So if we go back to this time where it hit the trend line, it had a bounce of 375%. And the latest that it hit this trend line, it had a bounce of 200%, right? So that's 4 out of 4 with at least a 120% gain. Now, again, you can bet on the fact that it is going down, but 4 out of 4, and the win ratio is so far 100%, but also the percentage gains that comes from it is not like it's 5 or 10%, so that it's maybe not worth. It's always have been more than 120%. That's the best bet you can take, if you ask me, right? Like, let's not go against that. So this trend line so far, very strong. Now, also, it is in fact quite simple, actually, right? You want to follow the trend until the end of the trend. Right now, is there the end? It's still there, right? Low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, 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 high. I'm in, right? Perfect. Now, this is just a very simple way of looking at things. But if you have been applying that simplicity, you would have nailed this, right? Buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. I did that, but I didn't take quite enough profits in hindsight, right? Here I felt like I should have taken way more profits than I actually did. But in hindsight, man, we could have all done it perfect. I bet that if you're watching this, you feel like, man, in hindsight, I could have made so much more and saved myself from so many losses. Man, you know what? That's crypto. We don't have a crystal ball, okay? Don't blame yourself for that. It's not like it's that easy. But if we look at this, and I feel like, let's not overcomplicate. So this is my first big purchase. Now, I'm also showing you in a couple minutes, like a couple things that I'm buying. Now, I set my first big purchase. I have a second order level target for myself, which I'm not sure if it gets hit. But that's this red box right there. This is really low, okay? This is from this point down another 35, 40% on others, right? And we're looking at the altcoin chart, everything excluding the top 10 in the top 125. So it is a fact that if you are in coin number 1670 or whatever, yeah, if this goes down 40%, that coin can go down 80, 90%. So you have to realize, like, hey, it could happen, and certain coins can go to shit. It doesn't mean that they will never come back, okay? You really, really, really have to realize that. And very quickly, why do I say that? Again, if you look at 2017, you also saw coins in the middle of a bull market, in the 2016-17 bull market, that went down 98.7%, right? That's way more than what we're seeing right now. Like, that's like, if that would happen right now, nobody would have shit anymore, right? But still, it went up after that with 15,000%. So again, if coins go down that much, theoretically, which I don't think will happen, it still doesn't mean that it's over, right? It doesn't mean that necessarily. The percentage-wise doesn't define a bear or a bull market necessarily. It's more the time that it's been happening in and how the macro is looking around that time. Now, macro is looking fine, if you ask me. Like, we can, of course, always find a reason to say, like, oh, yeah. Somebody, for example, mentioned that, like, yeah, but the S&P made a lower low, right? I feel like, yeah, it's true. It made a lower low. Then again, if you look in this area right here, right? The S&P also had a brief moment where it went down lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. And that was actually just what's the opposite of a dead cat bounce? A live dog plummet? I don't know. So if you really are looking for reasons to be bearish, you can always find one. But I don't think it is like screaming yet, right? I think it's the opposite. So no, I'm definitely buying. And this level, again, that would be my second purchase where I'm going all in. And why here? This would be like, so far, the altcoin market is repeating last cycle to the T. It's insane. If you copy this chart, down, and the percentages as well, and then up, and then down 60%, and then up, and then down. It's exactly the same. The only difference so far is that here in 2020, we had COVID, so we went down 70%. So far, we went down with 50%, right? So we need a little more going down, and 70% will put it here. Right now, again, that was a black swan. I don't know if that's going to happen again. Probably not, but hey, who knows, right? If it happens, I want to profit from that, dude. The people who bought here got rich, right? So if we get there, I at least don't want to be out of cash, right? That would suck. So that will be my second purchase, actually. And then it's just wait and pray, man. That's all you got to do in crypto. Make no trades for most of the time. Wait for it. Get in. Wait again. And take it out, right? It sounds easy. It's hard. I know. Now, why, in my opinion, is this a better moment to buy than the bear market lows? Depends on the coin. A lot of coins are sitting way higher. But there are also a lot of coins that are sitting near the lows, right? If you look at NEAR, for example, NEAR is quite higher than the bear market, right? However, if you look at a Trader Joe, for example, it's sitting quite close to the bear market lows. However, what I got overlaid right here is the others on their Bitcoin pair, so alt-season chart, basically. And what we can see is that when Trader Joe, for example, was sitting at the bear market lows here, the alt-season chart, if to call it like that, was sitting at 24, right? So 24% of Bitcoin's market cap was sitting in the altcoin market. Now, that is 14, almost half of it, right? While Joe is sitting at the same level. That shows like, hey, there is more upside right now for the overall altcoin market. And Joe is sitting at a really low level, right? Here, Joe went up from like 14 cents to, was it 124? Almost a 10x, right? While the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair kind of went from 24 to 24, right? Went flat. So Joe went up purely, and this Joe, there's a lot of examples, Seedify, ChainGPT, whatever, right? So they purely went up because Bitcoin went up, right? That was for most altcoins at least, the only reason why they went up. Now we are about to see a run where altcoins go up because altcoins go up. And again, why do I say that? Because now, like back here in December 2022, there was no reason to believe that alt season was going to happen any moment, right? in end of 2022. Because if we look at the all season chart again, end of 2022 was here, right? Well, that didn't make sense for this chart to go up, right? Because of two reasons. One, timing. It always so far goes up Q1 of the post-halving year, where we are right now, right? Not in random 2 years earlier, 2.5. Also, it was way too high. If this is the trend line, then we need to hit this trend line, right? And it happens that we coincidentally hit this trend line right at Q1 post-halving year, right? Like, you cannot make this up. So for the people that say like, oh, alt season won't happen, is this so coincident? I don't know. I don't believe that much in coincidence, actually. So in my opinion, this chart has way more upside than downside. Does it mean that it cannot go down in the meantime? Yeah, sure, it can go down a little bit more, probably, maybe, I don't know, right? But there's more upside than downside. So if altcoins in general will start to outperform Bitcoin this year, and Bitcoin stays somewhat above 60K, then altcoins can make new highs easy, right? Easy. Again, if you overlay the altcoin market on this chart, you can see that altcoins were sitting at 350 billion right here, right? While they were way higher on their Bitcoin pair than what they are right now, right? So if altcoins on the Bitcoin pair go up while Bitcoin is maintaining this price, then it's easy for altcoins on the dollar pair to take out these highs right there. Now, also the structure is very bullish on altcoins and Bitcoin and everything. We have a high and we have a higher high. So far, if you look at this purple line, right, what do you see? I just see a low, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low so far, right? So there is nothing that shows to me like, oh, watch out. Like, do some altcoins suck? Yeah, definitely. But we should learn to take profits, guys. That's all that it is. There was a lot of gains made this cycle so far. If you bought the right moment, but you didn't take profits, yeah, then it was kind of a nothing, right? So that's a waste. So let's apply that. Now, again, for a lot of altcoins, the opportunity is incredible, man. If you look at CeDeFi as well, it is really close to the cycle lows. Does it mean that it's a bad coin? No, this just goes with the market, but a little more on steroids. One, because it's a lower cap. Two, because this specific is a launch pad. And in a market where everything goes up, people want to be in new projects, right? So they're going to be in launch pads. Therefore, CeDeFi outperformed the altcoin market by 2x when it went up, but therefore it also underperforms when it goes down, right? Now, this is to me like such an opportunity right now. And I said a couple of weeks ago, also opportunity in the price wire. Yeah, oh, you got it wrong. No, just DCA. I'm not saying like, hey, now, right? Time the bottom, now. Like, no, that's not what you're going to do. I said it many times before, I'm not here to try to time the bottom. So if you watch my videos in the hope that you catch that, go watch somebody else, right? That's not what I'm going to promise you because I cannot do that. I'm not able to do that. So I'm not even going to try. All I know is that, again, if we look at this chart, buying here is better than buying here. I don't know how many people shield altcoin season over here. Yeah, that is really a wrong call, right? I said for a long time, 2+ years, I expect alt season end of 2024, beginning 2025, right? So that's this period right here, right? Hey, by the end of March, I won't see this as the beginning of 2025. Will I be wrong then? Yeah, I will be wrong, right? Will it be that harmful though? I don't know, man. If you if alt season happens in May or June or whatever, yeah, that's a couple months off, right? Out of 48 months, hey, close enough, right? Who cares? Again, let's not try to time the bottom, man. So and the Fed I like the fact that everything is going down right now, actually. One, because again, opportunity. Two, if everything now is going down, the Fed has more reasons to say, let's cut rates, let's stop QT, let's confirm what we already kind of hinted earlier this year. And that would be the signal, especially the stop of QT, that altcoins will start to outperform. And then it is only a question, like, will altcoins go up harder than Bitcoin is going down? Now, that's a question that we don't know yet, right? However, again, cycle-wise, time-wise, it doesn't make sense to me that Bitcoin is going into a bear market right now, right? Again, that would be the first time that we're going to see that. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the likeliness is not that high. Also, if you look at the bull market peak signals, right? Like the MVRVZ score, the Pi top indicator, the everything, 30 different signals. They're not always right, but it's also not that they're all gonna be wrong, right? That chance is even lower. And none of them have flashed yet. None. Now, again, handicapped horse, fasted horse, right? It could be theoretically that they're all going to be wrong. Then again, I don't think that chance is really high, right? I don't think that Bitcoin has stopped out. Let's say it does. Let's say it did, right? Then it doesn't mean that it's straight down, right? What you can see, and that's what Benjamin Cowen also said, and I screenshotted it from his exclusive video so I can steal his content. What his expectations are is basically that if this is a left translated cycle, that we could go down towards 60K, then have a, how do you say it? A bounce back to like around 100 maybe, and then go into a bear market. So even if this is a left translated cycle and if Bitcoin already topped out, you can still make a fuck ton of money, right? Because what if Bitcoin theoretically does something like this, right? Something like that, whatever. What if altcoins, if QT stops like the Fed hinted indeed, right? And altcoins on the Bitcoin pair start to outperform. What do you think will happen with altcoins on the dollar pair during this move? Like crazy. So even if you believe that it's a bear market, it doesn't mean you have to be bearish right away, right? Even in a bear market, things can rally pretty hard. And as long as you buy at a good price, there's still money to be made. Now, again, I don't believe it's a bear market. I think the chances are really unlikely, and it's just too soon to call. For Bitcoin, at least, it is obviously still a bull market, right? We have high lows, high highs, it's parabolic as hell, right? If you look at this chart, like you cannot tell me that we are in a fat bear market right now. For altcoins, the top 125, the good altcoins. Look, if you are only in meme coins and shit coins, then your portfolio might be in a bear market. I get that. But then again, you should not do that, right? So the established altcoins doesn't look like a bear market yet, right? It's an uptrend. This is a bear market, right? This is a bull market. If you look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, they are in a bear market. But it's not they just went into a bear market. It's just still in the bear market from the last cycle, right? And what gets followed after that? Another bear market. No, right? And it's not that it feels dragging, I know. If you look from the top until where we are right now along that staking, it's 1,150 days. If you look from the last cycle top until the bottom was 1,070 days, right? It's not that different, actually, right? It's taking a little longer. Fuck that. But it's basically 3 years for both of these cycles so far, right? So, I'm not so worried about all of this, man. So again, yeah, I see it as an opportunity, and I know that a lot of people are getting annoyed by that. Like, you always see an opportunity. You're perma bull. No, like when I think there's an opportunity, I'm bullish, right? If I think like that there's not an opportunity, I'm bearish. Very simple. By the end of the year, I will probably talk about selling and not buying and whatever, and maybe you will feel the opposite by then. We'll see, right? Now I don't feel like it's smart to write it all down, down, and then, okay, let's be bearish. Come on. That's not the way. So that's it for today. Now, what's really important is that you don't wreck yourself. How can you wreck yourself? By listening to the wrong people and apply it. Still, let me be clear. You press your buy and sell buttons. So it's your responsibility. That comes first. But there are people that have an influence on that. Therefore, they are called influencers. So I will make an upgraded 2025 best and worst influencer tier list for crypto, because I see a lot of good people out there. I see a lot of idiots out there. And that could have a big impact on your portfolio. So that's it for today. Stay tuned. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, check out the Alpha Factory down below. A lot of interesting stuff right there for the exclusive community, my portfolio, one-on-one calls, a really cool platform, by the way, that helps you setting your exit strategies. It's insane. And so much more. So do check it out, and I'll see you guys next time.